Altevrse Season 1 Action.
Wait. I need a countdown.
Altevrse Season 1 in 3, 2, 1 Action.
Altevrse Episode 1 Success. You get me?
You wanna hear
Nice
the song
to meet
from
you.
above?
Charles in the hat.
Hey,
welcome
to the MTV Cribs. We about to go outside and I'm about to show you.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Altevrse. And right now we got a very special guest. We got my boy Barney Bones in the building, man. How we feeling?
Man, I'm good, man.
What we saying?
Man, I'm just happy to be here.
Sheesh, I'm happy to have you, bro. It's crazy. So how's your week? It was smooth?
It was smooth. It's been a little hectic. I've been getting ready for a show for next week. So besides that though, it's just,
Yeah, I saw you performing with Felix, right?
Yeah,
that's
Felix,
fire.
yeah.
Y'all are, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Even the way the flyer looks, everything is really on point. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dang, this is crazy.
But like I was saying to you off camera, it's just I feel like the synchronicity of energy is where I go toward. So met him through a mutual friend, and it was just I fuck with you, and I'm down to do things with people I fuck with.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. Speaking of synchronicity, what's crazy is that I'm just gonna jump off the boat like this. I met this dude, and I'm talking to y'all. By the way, but I'm talking to everybody. But I'm talking to y'all. I met this dude literally 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, and what's crazy is we were doing we were performing at Cal State Fullerton at the festival, and we were the DJ Mao. He had us practicing together. So I was late, sorry, and I pull up and there's just music playing. By the way, I didn't even tell you this. Whenever I pulled up and I heard your music was in there, so I was locked out. So I was like, dang, I'm gonna wait until he finishes the song before I knock. The girl that was outside the room that I was talking to was alumni of Cal State Fullerton.
Oh, that's crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
I was like, wait, what? Of all the places you could have went to school, you went where we're about to perform, right? So then I go into the room and you're just playing. I think I told you. I was like, bro, I don't even know what emotion to feel with this music.
Yeah.
It's so resonant, but deep, but fun at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, this is crazy. Yeah. And then after the whole practice show, we ended up getting into a whole life deep talk for 30 minutes outside everybody left.
Yeah, everybody was going.
And we're just sitting there talking, and I'm like, oh yeah. This dude is cool. This dude does this thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so something that's interesting I've noticed about you is that you don't really sit in a genre.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you think that comes from?
I didn't go to the same school every year of high school, so I was always in a different place, and I think my influences were constantly. I didn't have I don't know, it was one year is the suburbs, the next year it's the hood, the most drastic part of the hood. Then there's another, but it was just every year was I was just learning a whole new system, and I feel that plays a huge part in how I consume things around me, musically and everything. But yeah, I don't, and even now, my training as far as music kind of was in pop. My homeboy brought me in on some pop shit, and I was I just really rap. I don't do pop music, but bro, it's just nah, bro, we doing this. We gotta do it because our perspective matter in this shit. And I was okay, cool. So that's kind of where the foundation of just the songwriting skill and everything is was honed in the pop world for real.
Yeah. What year was that your homeboy?
This was
also let me have you slide to the left just a little bit. Just a little. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This better.
Yeah.
2018. Yeah, 2018. Yeah, he my dog, rest in peace, August 08. He brought me into songwriting. I was going to school for screenwriting at the time, and I ran into bro, and he was just nah, like I already know you raw in music, like you should be doing that. I was like, now I'm trying to square up and get a job. Like I need like a job. You know what I'm saying? Like not more like art shit to like be confused in. But bro, it's just like he literally just like, bro, please, like please. And I was like, all right, look, I'm gonna take 6 months leave from school, and like we got that much time to figure it out.
Yeah.
So like if we don't, we don't.
Yeah.
You know, and like
Wow.
yeah.
So wait, so in those 6 months,
Yeah.
that's when you like tapped in.
We just
It was,
we just locked in because like
Okay.
I was doing sessions with him. You know, he would like do these pop sessions, so they'll be like in the daytime, all throughout LA, and then I would do school at night, and it was just like too much to do both.
Yeah.
You know, so it came to a point where I just like, all right, I'm gonna just like lock in on that, the music thing for a little bit and see. So like I was like, all right, bro, like let's do it. So like, you know, he was already like a signed, published like songwriter, and he had caught a crazy like Justin Bieber cut. So like he was getting crazy sessions. Like we were doing 3 sessions a day of just like pop tunes, like every single day.
Wow, training that muscle.
It was training that muscle.
And you said this was 6 months. So did something happen at the end of that 6 months that you were like felt like I'm locked in?
I just started seeing the movement of not only like okay, I'm writing songs, but I'm seeing things happen with the songs. Like there's like business conversations about this song, and there's business. I'm just like, oh, this is like business.
Yeah.
You know, I've only knew music in the capacity of just like, this is what I like to do.
Yeah.
But like the homie showed me like, oh, each song is a business within itself. And I was like, oh, each record.
Yeah.
Each record has business attached to it.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Because I feel like something that I find interesting is the concept of a deadline.
Yeah.
Because you said you had 6 months.
Yeah.
And it seems like, I feel like a lot of times we can go on doing some da-da-da-da-da-da, but it's weird. It's like school.
Yeah.
Like when that paper's due on, I don't know, March 17th at midnight.
Yeah.
It's like you go on, but you lock in and you finish it by March 17th.
Yeah.
But if the teacher was just like, turn this in whenever.
It's
like, bro,
it.
You graduate and never turn in that paper. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Because like so much was at stake because the school I was going to was like 60 bands a year.
Sheesh.
So like if I'm gonna do this, like nigga, I better be serious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Go all
like,
in.
yeah, cause like, yeah, I like worked hard to like get in there and like do that and like go in that route. So when I had to like switch gears, it was like, all right, like if you gonna do this, like
go all in.
You have no choice.
And you like, this is not a joke because you have some serious credits.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, Mao, I was with Mao, I was telling you, and he was just showing me, I didn't even know you wrote for Giveon.
Yeah.
That's insane, bro.
Yeah.
Do you ever think about that? And like some of these people that you've been associated with, I've been in rooms with Kaytranada, Duckworth, like these major artists. And you're like, I'm there. You know what I'm saying?
I know that's important to people. I just like look at it as like songs. Because like, all right, if I'm in a room with Kaytranada and Kaytranada like, okay, like we need this verse or we need this chorus, and it's like, okay, this is what we're focusing on.
Yeah.
Like our collaboration is based on my contribution.
Yeah.
So I don't got time to be starstruck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Real.
Like it's like, okay, like where do I fit into this? And it's like, okay, let me contribute in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
So like I'm not wasting nobody's time.
Yeah,
you know?
that's real. That's very real.
Yeah.
And do you ever find yourself like nervous in a room like that? At least in the beginning, like when you first are in this room and you're with this big producer or big artist, are you feeling like that butterfly, or you're like, let's go? What's your mindset?
When I was newer, when I was like first doing it, like the names were like kind of like daunting, but you realize how many hours you put into this thing to where it's just like, nah, like I'm deserving to be within any space I'm invited to. So like I can't
we get on some snaps? Can we get on some snaps? I deserve to be in any room.
Yeah, I'm invited to. So like, yeah, I'm grateful more so than nervous.
Yeah. So what's like, I guess what's like the mindset that goes into feeling like, is there a flipping point, or do you feel like you've always felt like, okay, I'm here? that goes into feeling like I deserve to be here? You know, do you think that's like where does that mental frame come from?
I think it was just time of like being kind of like thrown into situations, because the
Yeah.
thing about the homie was like, I'm not gonna hold your hand through anything. So like, if it's like, we need lyrics for this, and it's just like, bro, it's like if you don't knock it out the park, we're probably not gonna get the song. So
Yeah.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just need you to like
Yeah.
smash. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, yeah. Like
Yes.
I just gotta pull up to the bat, and it's like, don't matter who the song
gotta
is
pull
for.
up to the bat.
You know, it's
Yeah.
just like, nah, like it's my turn.
Pull up to the bat.
Yeah, just, you know what I'm saying? Like when you on the home plate.
Yo, no cap. Before we started this interview, I asked this man, I'm like, do you want tea? He was like, yeah. I was like, all right, some honey, you know, because you know we like honey. He was like, no honey. No smile, no facial expression. He looked me in my eyes. From back here over there, he said, no honey. I'm like, okay, yeah, this guy's for real.
You know, I know what I want. You know, when somebody say be like, you sure? I'm like, positive.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah, like no second thought.
Yeah.
But you can't, because even in writing, you can't second thought this word, because there's a million words that you can use for this word.
Yeah.
But you have to be solid on this.
Yeah.
And run with that.
But that's what aggravated me about pop music, is that it's a lot of like, you know, like you're writing something and like everybody's like, no, that's probably not it. But then like they don't have the idea in exchange. So it's just
Yeah.
like you're denying this line, but you don't have a replacement line. It's like a lot of,
Oh, yeah.
it's like no.
It's like
but
no, but okay.
no solution. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And it's just like, all right. And for a second, it'll make you second guess. But at times I gotta like push away, like do some pop stuff sometimes, and then like kind of like be on my own and like explore.
Yeah.
Just make my music a bit more exploratory. You know?
So we and we know you do the pop records, right?
Yeah.
And your sound is crazy experimental. So I'm just so curious about how you sit down and write a song like, what's the song? You got it.
Well,
wait, what's the name of that record
that
again?
Garden Kisses.
Garden Kisses,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, how does that come out of your, like, that just blew my mind.
well,
Because you look at artists like you and you hear your mixtape, you know what I'm saying? You hear like all these soundscapes that are very, even like a stadium status, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
These
yeah.
soundscapes that are so energetic.
Yeah.
And then you hear a song like Garden Kisses and is written by you. How does that?
well, Giveon came to me with the, like, he had the beat or the stems of the beat, or, you know, the beginnings of it. And then he had like melodies he had been fucking with. And then we kind of like went in and just like put it all together. I think at the so my dog that brought me into the situation, he introduced me to Giveon.
Yeah.
So that was like early before bro had like signed his deal and shit. So we were just like, it was also like kind of like, you know, he was learning his voice and what he wanted to do. And I also was like in that early phase of writing for other people.
Yeah.
So it was just like a super collaborative effort.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just like when you're in a space and you're working on a problem together,
Yeah.
like you can get to like whatever, you know.
Yeah.
The solution.
You find it.
You find it.
You find it. Yeah.
And it's just like he's like here with these pieces, and I add mine, and we just start moving shit around, and just like, oh, this feels better here, and yeah, and it's just like super
You get
collaborative.
magic.
Yeah.
At the end.
Yeah.
You get magic.
Yeah.
Man. And a song that I can't, by the way, this is so crazy because in my head, I had like a way that I wanted this to go.
Yeah.
And having you here right now, bro, this is what I knew it was going to be fun. It's just so easy to just ask you questions off of what you're saying. Like, I haven't even, bro, I'm like looking at this and I'm like, dang, I haven't asked that yet. But oh well, because I'm going to ask this right now.
Feel it, man. Go
Yeah.
feel it, whatever.
But
Like,
how does a record, oh my goodness, bro, Birds, I think that's your newest
Yeah,
song, right?
yeah,
It
that's my
just
newest
dropped.
one, yeah.
That song, bro, I've probably listened to it like 80 times.
That's
like,
fire.
because of that, bro, you might be in my Spotify thing at
that's
the end of
fire.
the year.
That's fire.
And it's just like, how do you get to a record like that that's so like how does it feel? It almost reminds me of something like Kendrick Lamar adjacent. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like that.
I get what you mean.
That's soulful,
Yeah.
you know? Like,
Yeah.
like tell me something. Tell me about that song.
All right. So that time of like when I was writing that song, I was going through just a lot of like personal doubt and all of that. And I was like popping out to Slow Jams Gallery. My homie Joseph had put out this album and was like working with a bunch of people there. This guy named Nico Orock. And when I went, Nico had introduced me to Samant, who's on the course. And Samant, like when I linked with bro, it was like bro played me the drum, the original drum loop.
Yeah.
Well, he's playing me a bunch of different ones. But I was just like, I just need something like more energetic, and like that was the one he had. And he started playing chords, and then there's another beat that he had played me prior to playing the drums, which was what the intro is, and I just wanted to splice them together.
Yeah.
And I called one of my homegirls to like, I was like, yo, can you leave me a message and talk to me like I'm coming off of shrooms? And she did. She sent me a voice memo.
Wow.
And then we tacked that on the beginning. But like, I was just literally just like, it felt like I was just like Jackson Pollock just throwing paint at a canvas.
Wow.
It
feels like that.
Yeah.
Though. Like it feels like high art.
Yeah.
Like that song.
That's
I don't
hard.
even know how to explain like what it does to me.
Yeah.
But it puts me in like a mental space that I feel like reflective, but I feel ready to go after it
Yeah.
at the same time, you know, which
Yeah.
is a very powerful thing to do in a song, in one song at that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then at the end, that little, she smashed the homie.
That was Buddy's idea.
Yeah,
Buddy was like, we gotta throw this one thing in there. And I was just like, all right, for sure.
Yeah, because it's just like, what? But it's like cool. Like, you know, it's just like cool. I don't even know what it means, but cool. Like, I don't know what it means in context of the song, but
Yeah.
this is hard,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Nah, that's a fire record.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah. So I just want to know, because you see who you are now. You know, you're in these rooms, you're writing, you're doing these songs, you're doing these big songs, you got a show next week. But, like, take me to when you're 13 years old.
Oh, shit.
Like, what is 13-year-old Barney? Like, what are you on? What are you thinking about? Like, what's going on?
13-year-old me, I hadn't found my thing yet. I was like really into football, and I thought that was gonna be my thing. I hadn't like, and then like I had a bunch of just like 13 was difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was complex because there was a lot of shit going on at home, and then like I would come to school and like have to be because like people knew me for freestyling. So like I freestyled at lunch, I freestyled after school. Like that was like my identity. It's just like
So
I like
been
freestyling.
putting in the hours.
Yeah, it's just like
Writing hours.
that's what I like to do for fun, is just battle niggas. But it wasn't like serious at all.
Yeah.
I didn't take anything serious. I think I just would just show up and just be like, all right, fuck it, who wanna battle? You know? Like that was my thing. Yeah.
Also, what's interesting about that, actually, Mix, you said this, bro. I'll never forget this. He was like, I'm gonna make sure, like, if I have sons, I'm gonna make sure that they play football, or if I have like, I'm gonna make sure they're involved in some sport.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, why is that? You know? And he was like, because of the discipline that I learned. Like,
Okay.
even whether you're the best player, whether you're the worst player, we're all in those 2-a-days together. We're all in that weight room together.
God,
We're
bro.
all, and it's so interesting because I feel like the lessons, like one thing that I'm so thankful for, because I also played sports, high school, I played football, and it just, I know how to get up and do what I don't want to do.
Oh, God.
You know, for real.
Oh, God.
Like when it's painful, it's like I know how to push through the pain. You know,
Yeah.
it's like an interesting discipline.
No,
that sports teaches
that's
you.
real because you know I played on this traveling team in high school that was like the first month and a half is like no ball. The coach is like, I don't want to see a ball in my practice. We running.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you showing up and you running for 2 hours and that's it. So we would show up knowing there was no ball in the building and we would just run. But like the cold thing is when it was like when we finally got the ball and we finally start running drills and plays and we would play the game, we will blow niggas out every time. We up by 40 at the half, like going crazy, like homies is dunking, like it was just looking crazy. But we were so well conditioned, and like I feel like that stuck with me. It's like the conditioning. It's like the keep working, even when people don't see it.
Because that shows up in the fourth quarter.
Oh God!
You'll know who did the reps in the off season, and who cheated in the off season.
Because you know, I was like doing two sports. So like I would do like basketball for school, basketball for the traveling team, and then I would do football. But like it's like by the time it's football season, I'm not exhausted. I'm like well conditioned. So like I'm just like, yo, just throw it over the top. Like, like I got him, bro. Like just throw it over the top. Like I'm about to go get it. And that was my mindset because I was so prepared. And like every game, I'm just like running past niggas. Like we're not even about to. You're not jamming me at the line.
Like what?
Yeah, like
you didn't do that rap.
I was just like, I got him. You know what I'm saying? Out of here.
Oh snap! Wait, this is Tails. I feel like it'd be cool to answer him. Tails, I'm doing Altevrse right now. Say what's up.
Yo.
I'll be tapping with you later.
Bro, I croaked out so early last night, bro.
No worries. All right, bro. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
No.
Huh? Yeah.
What, nigga?
I should put this on silent. That was a little cameo from Tail.
Fair to say.
No, but yeah. Huh?
Does everyone know Tails?
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Oh, we got a top end mix. Okay, don't worry. We got you. He said, does everyone know Tails?
Yeah, he's just like, yeah, that's not my boy.
I was like, oh, damn, everyone knows Tails. I was like, oh, this is like a moment.
I don't know him too, so like, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But now y'all know him.
Yeah, but now we
You know, now we know Tails.
I know of him.
Now we know of Tails.
I know of him.
Facts. But yeah, but it's interesting because that goes into real life. You're like, I'm prepared. You know, I came prepared. I'm conditioned, and those lessons they translate across the board. So I want to know when did you find your like interest in music? Like, was that in those middle school years, or that was more like?
I was like 9. I was like,
oh wow.
I was like 9. My mom used to play the C Murder album, and she used to bang it every morning, and like we would drive around to it, and before she dropped me off, she was like, "Don't be repeating none of this at school. I'm gonna beat your ass." And I was like, "All right." All right. But then like the songs were so good on some like rap shit, like that I couldn't get them out my head at school, so I would write them down. Cause I'll just like be repeating them constantly. So I'll just like sit down and I'll just like rap it to myself to remember it. And then I would write it down on a piece of paper and then like close my notebook. But that was like the process of writing started from that.
And then so from there, 9, when are we in front of a microphone for the first time?
Maybe 16 at my cousin's house. My cousin had, you know, the setup where he had the microphone and all of that. And I would go over his crib and we would record. We would watch a whole bunch of rap battles, and then we would just make songs. And then once I figured out, like, oh, I can make songs, like, we can just, like, record ourselves. Once I realized that was a thing, then I went to my other homies that I was, like, seeing every day at school. And I was like, nigga, download this program. We about to start recording over here. We gonna start doing mixtapes, put all the homies on it. Like it was like that. Like that's how like I started to like find my way in making songs.
And were you releasing songs at that time, or y'all were just recording them?
Yeah, we was releasing them, putting them on
at 16?
Online. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we was putting them online.
So how was that at the school? Were people like listening to
it?
Yeah,
people were listening to it, and like, okay, because here's the thing. Like, I went to this school, Linwood. Linwood is like Compton adjacent turn. But the thing was like the songs that everybody knew was like all the like the super hood songs because like everybody was like affiliated with some type of gang, so you only knew people based off gang affiliations. So all my homies were from a particular gang, and we were like fans of like other gangs' music, and they all had beef, so they would make songs dissing each other.
Wow.
So like we were consuming music that way. It's just like, oh, they got a new diss.
Wow.
And so like,
yo, that's crazy.
so when I started like making songs, I'm like damn near like A&R, because I'm like not in the beef.
Yeah.
But I'm like, nigga, do it over this beat, do it over this Wayne
Yeah.
beat, do it over this one, and then you on it, and then you come on the second verse, and then like you do the hook, like it was like that. Like
that kind of reminds me of Get Rich or Die Trying. We were just watching it the other night. Have you seen that film?
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, they're like, he's like, you can't diss me, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that is serious.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
It's like music, but it's serious.
it's serious.
You know? Yeah.
It's serious because it's like we all went to the same parties, so like everybody in the party heard the song.
Yeah.
So like if the song popping, it's even more problems.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like whoa.
It's like,
and then
yeah.
it's like, yo, is that where DJs getting pressed? Like, yo, turn this off.
well, I mean, it depends.
Or
Like,
not really.
you know, not really. Like,
Yeah.
because a lot of the songs weren't club songs; they were like kind of like more street songs.
Oh yeah.
But so they weren't playing them as much. But when they were club songs, it's like a thing. Like niggas get to fighting,
Yeah.
club gets shot up, but it's like the song really just popping out the streets for real.
Wow.
You know.
So we go. Were you in the SoundCloud era or not really?
I
Like,
no,
were you
I
dropping songs on.
I
SoundCloud?
was songwriting around the time, so I wasn't really on SoundCloud like for like putting out artist stuff. No.
I see.
Yeah, I was like just on some.
So
like,
you were songwriter first.
I was songwriter first.
And then you became artist.
Yeah, then I became an artist. yeah.
Okay. And when you became an artist, were you rapping or you were already kind of like using your pop element?
I was like, the thing was, I was kind of like putting myself through artist development, so I would just be recording myself and doing shit, and then like I'll play it for the homie, and bro would be like, "This cool, but like, where's the chorus?"
Yeah.
And I'll be rapping like, "Nah, like." I'm talking about how, you know, so-and-so got his leg amputated or so.
Yeah.
You know how when something like feels real to you and you
Yeah.
say it and then it's like, yeah. And then everybody else is like, it's cool.
Yeah. It's like, bro, what? I just put my soul into this.
And
You better cry.
yeah. And like, that's how bro was. Bro is just like, this cool, but like, where's the song?
Yeah.
And
but
I'll
he
be
was
like-
he was objective though.
He was.
You just didn't see it at the time.
I was
know?
like, man, you don't even listen to rap like that. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I really listen to rap. Like,
Yeah.
but like at the same time, it's just like between him and this other girl I dated, she was a dancer. So when we would talk about music, she would talk about it more so melody first, more than lyrics, because like that's how she remembered music. It's just like the counts. So like I took that into account when writing songs. It's like some people's brains are listening for lyrics and what you're saying, and others are not even hearing it.
Yeah.
They're hearing the melody. You know.
So what's interesting to me? So you grew up in like Compton, if I'm not correct, or where?
Like Linwood.
Linwood.
Yeah.
So in like around that area.
Yeah.
So you like watching your music and like your progression as of now. What's like stands out to me is that you have your rap side and you do your rap side, but you also have songs like what I was singing in the elevator, like
Lifeline.
Lifeline,
Yeah.
and like an Everything and Nothing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I noticed you work with a lot of like electronic producers too. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and it's so crazy to me because I feel like in the African American community, it can sometimes be like, I know in my personal journey, like I started off making like trap music because that's what was cool, that was accepted. But then when I split off and started doing indie this and indie that, it's like my friends personally, they're like, you know, like,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know,
yeah,
because
yeah,
we're
yeah.
black people, you know.
Yeah.
So how were you able to step into this electronic sound so seamlessly?
Because the thing was like I was into like Justice and Daft Punk before I understood that was a different genre. I just knew I liked it. That's it. So I like the sounds, but then Lupe Fiasco had this mixtape called Fahrenheit 115, and he was rapping over like Radiohead beats and like just other shit. And I feel like, you know, between that era, Ye era, like, you know, NERD with like all the girls standing in line for the bathroom, like these were like people that were like kind of like breaking the status quo in real time. It's just like, you don't really have to just rap over like a premier beat to be considered hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, you could like really be into colorful sounds and
Yeah.
chord progressions, and Tyler is even taking that further.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's just me paying homage to the things that I actually like. Like, you know, I don't have no quarrel with EDM. I think my only thing with EDM is that because of the rap it gets for being like super white, I feel like, you know, house music is black music.
Yeah.
Also, techno is black music. Like, that's all founded by black people in Detroit, Chicago, you know. And I feel like because it's our music, I feel like this is like a reclamation, you know, like taking it back, if anything, you know.
That's a powerful perspective.
Yeah.
Did you ever get pushback from your inner community, or it was like
I mean,
very accepted?
Niggas will just not say anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll be like, but it's crazy because I realized within the, you know, EDM world, I was like making an impact, because like they start flying me to Lollapalooza, and they start like, you know, giving me like like situations, and I'm just like, damn, like they really rolling out the red carpet, you know. And it's just like, okay, even if I'm not getting love from like my people who like know me and this and that, like I'm really doing work.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I don't care.
Yeah, if it's not
care.
broke, don't,
Yeah.
you know, like I'm here, I'm doing this.
I'm
for
doing
real.
it. I'm doing it
Yeah.
today. Like, I could be rapping and struggling, you know?
Yeah.
Because like there's a lot of niggas who's doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like I also can be just like doing things that I find interesting.
Yeah.
And doing it with a new perspective, but also like, you know, like it worked.
Yeah.
You know?
Mixing all the worlds. I guess it's your influences.
Yeah.
It's what you like.
Yeah.
Wow. So has there ever been a time during the journey where you felt like, man, am I on the right path?
All the time. All the time. I think.
And how do you fight that feeling, or how do you get past that?
I think what's key for me is to understand what I want out of anything that I'm doing, like, and how does it contribute to like the larger thing? Because I feel like we can get lost in people pleasing. I think people can tend to like make decisions based on what other people will think about those decisions.
Yeah.
And that's like detrimental to you, because like you as an individual have your own like things that you want to do. So sometimes you just gotta like sit in silence and consider, what do you want? And I think that will inform any decision you're doing, for real.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Speaking of people making decisions based on what other people want, something that I noticed earlier that you talked about, and we talked about this beforehand, but you went to film school, you know? And I think it's really interesting that I noticed in today's era, it's become really popular to promote the idea of the creative, the artist dropping out of school or not pursuing any sort of education. It almost feels like weak if you go to school or you pursue education. Like all big artists, big pro, they've kind of put this idea on a pedestal that you don't need school. But I was thinking to myself, there might be a kid at home who might have excellent musical talent, but they're not developed as a person. They're not well-rounded as a person. And maybe they needed to go into an education system for a little bit and kind of learn how to meet people, learn how to manage their time, learn how to do this and do that. So as someone who's attended school, what's your perspective on that?
I think school allowed me to like feed my curiosity away from like outside perspectives. Like, I can just go sit in the library and like dive into random books. Like, I'll see a book title and be like, this is hard, because I had a job working in the library, pulling books and like putting books back, following the Dewey Decimal System, all of that. And I would just like put books to the side for myself and just like, don't know what this book is about, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
And like school, especially film school allowed me to just like sit and be a sponge and like not be responsible for having the answer.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you work a job instead of going to school. Like, you're responsible for like, you know, the fucking cash register. You're responsible for your time card. You're responsible for all those things. I feel like school, you just show up and you like take in information all day,
Yeah.
whether it's like meeting people from a different culture that like has a similar outlook to life that you do, even though there's class lines in between you guys, or you know, whatever. I think you can just show up and just like learn if you're a curious person.
Yeah.
And even if you don't go to school, like I feel like there needs to be some type of like state of just like sponge, like whether you're an apprentice for somebody, it has to be some version of it. It might not classically be college, which is fine. I needed that though. Like I needed like structure, because like I was like one of the very, 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 very few people to do college in my family. So it was like important for me to like go do that. And writing is what I did naturally. So I was like, it has to be something writing.
Yeah.
You know? So I was just like screenwriting, playwriting, all of that. And it just allowed me to just get rid of expectation, bro, and just show up each day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And thank you for saying that, because I think it's important that there's a kid out there that is kind of teetering on that fence, and they need to understand that there's nothing wrong with educating yourself. You know, like if you don't need that, by all means, do. You know, everybody, our lives are our own, but I think it's important that if you're not gonna do that, you made that decision yourself.
Yeah.
You didn't make it because of some quota that you feel that you need to meet as an artist. You know, like
Yeah, because like I feel like before I was doing school, I was like bouncing around at different jobs, and I was just like so unfulfilled. And I was like, I don't want to do this shit. Like I was stocking shelves at Erewhon. Like that job sucked, bro. Like it was sucked, bro. Because it was like super rich grocery store, and then I'm just in there like on my hands and knees stocking shelves. And then like I remember one time I'm stocking the shelf, I'm literally on my just like in there on the floor like stocking some shit and changing stickers, and then someone taps me on my shoulder, and I look up, and it's like David Beckham and his like wife and kids, and they're like, where's the like spring water? And I'm just like, it's over there. It's like it's an aisle down.
That's
bro.
a scene, bro. That's literally a scene. That I can see that scene. That's like out of a movie.
I was just
Like you turn around and it's freaking David Beckham.
bro, you just like in
And
your
he's
head, just like
where's the spring water?
yeah, and then you're just it's over there, and it's just like, wow, my life kind of sucks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I'm on my hands and knees, literally.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. So what's coming up, man? What are we working on?
I'm releasing another single on the 31st of March.
Nice.
A song called Inferno, and I'm working towards releasing the album Memorial Day.
Okay, nice.
Ideally, yeah.
Man, we getting some new
Yeah.
sheesh.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say about the album sonically?
Sonically, I feel like this album is the first time I'm also telling a story sonically, not just, you know, with the lyrics and shit. We really spent time with each song. I feel like each song has its like own world, and I feel like that was like the most important part for me. It's like for something to feel complete, and not just feel like, you know, this is a song that they did and he got it mixed and mastered. And I just like, nah, like I want each song to be a world. Birds feels like a world. We got cello on the intro and like fucking trumpets and shit. Like,
it's literally a whole world.
It's a whole world. And I was just like, I want to hear beginning, middle, and end. And yeah.
As soon as I thought of that Ye line on 30 Hours, he's like, I need a happy beginning, middle, and ending.
Bro, people skip it. People skip the idea of that something should have a beginning, middle, and end, which is like the most basic aspect of anything you experience.
But you went to film school. You know, we need a beginning, middle, end. It's such a you know.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. So I wanna get into. I have a segment, and it's called Rapid Fire Questions.
Oh shit!
And it's just
not that personal. Man.
What's up?
Like,
not that personal.
Like, who you fucking on?
Nah.
All right, cool. Cause I was on some girl's thing. And like, you know, it was supposed to be about music, and then like It was just like, so like you're dating. I was like, yo,
We don't want to know none of that.
Yeah. I was like, yo, hey, I thought we
We
was.
want to know about your soul.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
what we
you.
want
Thank
here.
you. Absolutely.
We want your spirit.
Absolutely. I'm down for it.
But
Not your soul mate, but your soul, brother.
poet. Nah, but actually, this isn't even a rapid fire question. This is actually more of a personal question. But
Hey, that's hilarious.
but when I look at like as an artist, right? Because now hearing your story, like you're coming from mixtape days, from beef stuff, and then you can go on Spotify right now and you see a song like "Lighten Up" with over 1 million streams. Bro, I think maybe like it has to be a decimal percentage of artists that can actually say they've had like 1 million sales, 1 million streams, whatever genre of music you're in. Like I think it's a very, very small percentage that hit that 1 million mark and up. And it's over 1 million, but just to make it simple, that 1 million mark. How did that feel? Just knowing like where you come from, like, man, someone can type in my name and see a mill by it.
It's crazy that I can do that on like a genre that quote unquote doesn't belong to me. Like the genre that people would be like, oh yeah, like you don't belong there, but it's just like, but nigga putting up some numbers.
Yeah, you can't. Men lie, women lie.
Numbers don't.
Yeah.
So I think if anything, that just shows that like people are interested in what I have to say in other places that aren't here, that aren't from LA or have the same story, like that are in Australia and the UK, and like they'd be like, oh, I'm like, you know me over there, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
That's fun though. Like I feel like when that happens, it just it's validating in other ways. Yeah. Cause it just like lets you know like, okay, like I'm not crazy. Yeah. You know, like I'm like here to do this for real, and other people see it. It's not like a fluke, you know? Cause like with songwriting, I think a lot of the industry tries to discourage songwriters from being their own people because they make money off of them assuming identities. Like sound like such and such, so we can sell that idea for her. And it's like, you know, the songwriter with the least amount of I don't want to say that, but I would.
That PR training came in.
I was gonna say some wild shit.
That PR clicked. It clicked.
It's like, nigga, no, don't do that. But I
no, but what you said is valid. Up to that,
the thumb of the industry can sometimes be on the songwriter. So when the songwriter's like, I have a personal project, they're like,
but you're like, I have a personal project, and we got some M's.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it was just me, just like, you know what? I'm gonna just push away from songwriting completely. So like, I'm gonna just tell everybody no. Yeah. They're like, oh, can you do a session? Like, nah. Yeah. And like, you know, people was getting mad. Like, I'm getting word back about people feeling away, and it's a lot of, you know, white people feeling away. I was like, damn. Yeah. Because I got agency. Yeah. Crazy.
But you keep it pushing, man.
Got to.
Yeah. Fire. All right. I love that. So let's get into these rapid fire. So with rapid fire questions, you have no thinking. The first answer that comes to your head, that's the answer, right? All right. Let's get into it, man. So if you weren't making music, what would you be doing?
I'll be a cook.
A cook? Yeah. Like a chef?
Like Michelin star.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I didn't expect that. Bro, this guy's laugh is beautiful, bro. I hope this camera sees your smile. It's like a kid, bro. You like light up. If this moment in your career was a chapter in your life story, what would the title be, Mr. Screenwriter?
The Ladder.
The Ladder.
Yeah.
Wow. That was amazing. Okay. 5. Right? That was amazing, bro. How did you think of that off the top, bro? I thought you were gonna spend a second on it, bro. You must have. This boy got X-ray vision. He prepared for these questions. The Ladder. That's amazing. That's a blockbuster. Okay. What would the soundtrack? What's the soundtrack to your life right now? Like, what are you listening to the most? Album, song, anything?
Coltrane. Coltrane. He has a performance in I think 1956 in Belgium that I really like. Go back to. It's a song called Naima that he plays, but I love the way they play it at that performance specifically.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You know Alice has a
At the Hammer?
At the Hammer.
Yeah.
You gotta check that out. I gotta check that out too. We were late, bro. It was a long line.
I didn't go for one reason. It's because I told one girl yes, and then another girl invited me, and I was like, oh, she's gonna be there too. I probably should say no to everybody.
Instead of being in that awkward.
Like, why would I do that to myself?
Yeah. That's real. You can go on your own though. It's there until April.
And I'm gonna pop out.
Yeah,
on
just
my
pop
own.
out. Yeah, exactly. That's the PR move.
I was like, ooh.
So let's say you can teleport to any era in music history for a month. Where are you going?
Any era? Calypso, like late 50s, West Indies, very black, folk music. I would just like, they used to have battles, and it was like almost like rap battles, but it was like they were actually writing songs and playing steel guitars and shit. I would go to that era to just like see what those shows were like.
Wow.
Because it's like you can't find any video, anything on it.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, what would your role be? So I guess you'd be a spectator.
I would want to be a spectator. I would just like want to just like be there for the fun of it. Yeah.
Fine. Okay, what's your go-to karaoke song?
For you, what should I do? You make me want to by Usher.
Fine.
Yeah.
Studio session must-haves.
T. I feel like T is yeah.
Yeah, you killed that.
Yeah.
Show the camera that, bro. I'm glad we had a clear glass.
Yeah, no,
He
absolutely.
killed that. Oh my goodness.
No,
Wow.
I probably drank it at the most weirdest moments through this interview. But it's fine.
Y'all see every time he drank it. I wasn't even watching. I thought it was, wow, that's empty. Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice until he said that. I was like, that's empty.
I'm
Okay.
just like drinking it, trying to answer the question.
What would you say? What's the hardest part of being an artist? Short version of the answer though.
Being an artist is like being Will Smith in The Pursuit of Happiness. When he's selling those machines and he has to like go and convince them to buy the machine. That's what it is to be an artist. It's just like you're trying to convince them to buy this thing and convince them that it has value. Like, look at my song. Like, this will change the world. And someone has to be like, maybe.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
That's the hardest. That was a good analogy. All right, we're going to mess him up with this one. Be honest. Don't cap right now.
No cap.
500K or dinner with Jay-Z?
I'll take 500K.
500K?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I feel like Jay-Z has been rich for too long, and I don't think he's going to want me to get out of the class that I'm in currently.
That's a good
in one
answer.
dinner.
I just think anyone that picks the dinner, like, what do you expect to get in that dinner, bro?
Like if a nigga said 500K or dinner with Jay-Z right now, I'll be like, bro, like, send me the check.
Send me the, like, what is the dinner?
Even Jay-Z said, like,
Take the money. Yeah.
like, what do
Like-
you want to talk to me about?
Like it's nothing to talk about.
He was
Like it's really nothing. Like, I don't even know this nigga.
Yeah.
So like,
You're not going to get through in that one dinner.
you had a one dinner and you think he's just about to give you his entire life and all his
No.
secrets? That nigga
Y'all
don't.
about to talk about basketball.
He gonna be like, all right, so bro, why are you at the dinner? You know what I'm saying?
What's your name?
Yeah, like, it's called me the wrong name a couple times.
Take it an hour. It's not gonna be enough.
Right, because I feel like Jay-Z is not going to eat like this whole platter. I feel like he's going to have like some like small shit where it's like a leaf on it and it's not going to take hella long. Like,
Yeah, and then he's going to have to go. He's going to have to go make 500K.
He's gonna be talking.
He could have made.
He gonna be taking phone calls during it and
Yeah.
shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, fuck that nigga. Like, give me the 500. Like, easy.
Okay, and then last question. What?
He's on the internet. You can't just say fuck that nigga. He will hear this.
Nah, he didn't mean it
Jay-Z,
like that.
it's not fuck you, bro. Like, your type but like, you know, not pertinent to my life.
Actually, Mix, thank you for that. You know, we got our PR guy over there. You know, making sure.
He said,
everything.
"Hey, not
He said,
fuck."
hold
I
on.
love you, JP.
He said,
Hold
I got a
on.
meeting with Rock Nation next week. I'm gonna need you to walk that one back.
And then last question: what's the weirdest place you've ever written a song?
In a car?
That was the weirdest place.
I feel like
In a car.
I think because we just sat in the car and wrote it and then went inside and just recorded it.
No, okay.
Yeah, but I feel like that was I feel like you should do it in the studio though.
I mean, I've written a lot of songs in the car. That's like probably. It used to be my main spot when I was at the parents' crib.
Let me see.
But if that's your answer, I'm not taking away.
No. I had to evaluate, like, was that a weird place? Yeah. Off the top of my head, rapid fire, I'm gonna just say car.
The car?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
nice. Okay, so one of my last question is we have a question from the last guest.
Okay.
That she left for you.
Oh shit. Okay. That's
And she said, what space makes you feel the happiest? And what are you doing to make sure that that feeling continues outside of that space?
What space makes me feel the happiest? Movie theater. Yeah. I feel like that's my favorite form of escapism. I go to movies by myself all the time. So like, yeah, I can go there and just like watch out, bro. I literally went to go see Paddington in Peru, and I enjoyed every moment of it.
Yeah.
It's not a great movie. I was just happy to be there. I was just like, man, this nigga Paddington crazy. Yeah, but yeah, I think the movie theater is my favorite place. I felt like when the shutdown happened and I couldn't go, I felt it. I didn't know I felt it until like I started going back, and I was like, oh, I missed this feeling of like escaping. Yeah.
And what are you doing to bring that feeling with you continuously?
I feel like that kind of bestows upon me responsibility to tell like real stories outside of like, it's like, yeah, I can like just talk about, you know, what I'm going through or keep it really minute, or I can like have a theme and like use certain devices. Like, you know, I'm real like literary nerd sometimes, so like that shit is like what sticks with me is like, how can I tell this story over different songs and like, you know, other things. So yeah, I feel like having that allows me to feel like a child because I get to like, it's like story time all the time, like with music, you know.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah.
That was real. And so I want you to leave a question for the next guest.
A question for the next guest. Is who you are when no one looking who you want to be?
Wow, that was a good question. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. There you have it, folks. Mr. Barney Bones in the building.
Thank you for having me.
Altevrse, you know what I'm saying? We're going to link everything. Whatever's out when this comes out, his album, singles, whatever, we're going to link it in the description. Thank you guys for watching. I love you. We out. Peace. Yeah. Appreciate you, my brother.
Absolutely.
You wanna hear the sounds from above?